And good evening, everyone. Welcome to WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the play-by-play call of this big regular season conference matchup between the 3-0 second-ranked Decatur Central Hawks and the 3-0 fourth-ranked Martinsville Artesians. This is a big conference matchup, and I know coaches and players kind of tell each other one game at a time, and that's probably true, but this game just has a little bit more feel, a little bit more energy in it, as this is a big-time matchup, maybe one of the biggest regular season games that Martinsville Artesians have faced in quite some time. You'll see the American flags there tonight, the Artesians and the city of Martinsville honoring the National Guard and honoring their service tonight. So we'll have some festivities lined up throughout the evening to honor them. But let's kind of go back and see what happened last week as the Artesians defeated the Greenwood Woodmen to move to 3-0. This first play, Artesians really moved the ball that first drive. The spin move by Isaac Osborne goes up the sideline for the touchdown. Artesians take an early 6-0 lead, convert on the two-point conversion, make it to 8-0. But the Greenwood came back, tied it up 8-8. Artesians drove downfield. Travis Griffey there able to QB sneak it in. Artesians take lead. Maybe the biggest play of the game. A fourth down stop by the Artesians. Greenwood had the ball inside the 5-yard line. First down. Artesians stopped them 4 times, shut them out. They went to the halftime, the locker room with a halftime lead, 15-8. Here, Griffey to a wide-open Matt Thomas for the score. Artesians go up 2 scores at that point. And then it's time for the defense. Artesian defense shut out the Greenwood Woodmen in the second half, the second straight shutout in the second half for the Artesian defense. This time it's Garrett Miles on the tip pass, the interception. He takes it all the way into Greenwood territory. And then later the offense was not done as Isaac Osborne, a tough run here, spin move, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, stiff arms into the end zone for the score. Artesians would go on and win it 29-8 and move to 3-0 and 1-0 in conference. But it's a little tougher test as the Artesians face a very athletic Decatur Central Hawk team. The Artesians have really struggled against Decatur Central. They have lost 6 of the last 7 that they played the Hawks. And Coach Whitson sat down with Eric Meyer and talked a little bit about what to expect from Decatur Central.
You'll see those guys offensively getting a bunch of different formations, anything from running the wing tee to spreading out, being an empty. They got a bunch of guys that are going to try and get the ball different places. They don't have just one running back. That running back will go play receiver. The receiver will come play tight end. Tight end will go play running back. So they're, multiple in everything they can do offensively. And then defensively, they play what we call a cat defense. You got that cat, I got that cat, and they just go sick them. Try and load up the box and really simple and just try and out-athlete you.
Coach Whitson also talked about what the Artesians needed to do to get a win here tonight. What's the keys to the game from Coach Whitson?
Defensively, we got to focus on the certain formations they give us. We kind of think they have some tendencies, and we got to make sure we know that. That happens all week with preparation. We feel like we've done a good job of that. And then offensively, we got to take care of the ball. We got to go fast. We need to be able to run it at them. We need to be patient because they're not going to give us a bunch of big plays just because they are a little bit more athletic than us. But we need to be patient, settle down, and just get after them for 4 quarters.
And those were the keys to the game from Coach Whitson on what the Artesians have to do to stay undefeated and get their second win in the Mid-State Conference matchup. Like I said, both these teams come in ranked in the top 5. Decatur Central ranked number 2 in 5A in the AP poll. The Artesians come in ranked 4th in the 5A AP poll. So this is a big-time matchup for the Artesians here at Ciderwoods Field. Should be a good crowd. Unfortunately, the weather may keep some fans away as we're expecting rain pretty much throughout most of the game, as you see some of the people who have served in the military that are currently serving, members of the community of Martinsville carrying the American flag that will be rolled out, and we will do the national anthem here momentarily, but a very cool moment here at Ciderwoods Field to honor those who have served, who have given the ultimate sacrifice, and that who just love this country so much. So really exciting time here to be at Ciderwoods Field as they unroll the American flag. And now, as you can hear in the background here, the cowbells are starting to ring. Fans are starting to get up as you see the Artesians enter the tunnel and are getting ready to come out. Cool scene here at Ciderwoods Field. The American flags. You've got students and cheerleaders holding those American flags up. And the Artesians, you'll notice, will be wearing some different uniforms here to honor the National Guard night at Ciderwoods Field. Coach Whitson getting the team ready, and here come your Martinsville Artesians. And now we're going to give you our national anthem here at Ciderwoods Field. National anthem was sung beautifully tonight by National Guard member Corporal Rosario. As like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, honoring the National Guard and all the members of our military who have served. We thank you, and you'll also notice as the community and former members who have served in the military take the American flag respectively off the field. Cool moment there as you saw great camera work by our camera crew to capture kind of all the moment there of the national anthem, of the flag being rolled out and waved by those members of the community and those who have served in the National Guard and other parts of the military. And here in just a moment, we will get ready to kick off this top 5 matchup between the Martinsville Artesians and the Decatur Central Hawks. Now, as you'll notice on your screen, the Artesians are wearing some kind of camo style uniforms to honor the National Guard here tonight, as some of the coaches are wearing camo Martinsville hats. So pretty cool scene here at Ciderwoods Field. Decatur Central is coached by head coach Kyle Enright, who has a very strong record in his 3rd season as the Hawks head football coach. He is 20-5, but is not had a whole lot of success in the tournament. Is still looking for that first sectional championship this evening. And we have a shot there of quarterback Travis Griffey, and you can also see some cool decals of the American flag on the side of the Artesian helmet, the kind of the stars going down the middle of the helmet. So cool shot there. You get a really nice look at the details of the special uniforms here tonight. The Decatur Central Hawks last week got a big win at home against the Whiteland Warriors. They won 28-14 to move to 3-0 and get their first win in the conference and go to 1-0. So you've got 2 undefeated teams. One of them is going to fall tonight here at Ciderwoods Field. We're just hoping that the Artesians can pull out the victory and move to 4-0, but tough test for the Artesians. Like I said, they've not had a lot of success against the Hawks. They've lost 6 of their last 7, and a lot of those losses have been by a wide margin. Decatur Central has put up quite a few points, but we will see. Decatur Central so far early in this season come in averaging 25.7 points per game. So not as many points as some of those electric Decatur Central teams have put up in the past. But their defense is what's really helping them win ball games, only giving up 11.7 points per game. And the defensive coordinator is a familiar face to Artesian fans. That is former Martinsville coach Brad Rose. As we are getting ready to kick it off under the lights here on Friday night, it's a short kick, and it will go out of bounds. So the Artesians will get some good starting field position for their opening drive. Now we'll have to see how the weather affects the play calling throughout the night. Now right now, it is not raining, it is dry, but it is overcast, and I can almost guarantee you that we will have some rain at some point, if not through most of this game so far tonight. But despite the potential for bad weather, we've got a pretty strong crowd here on the Martinsville side. And the first play from scrimmage, it's a low snap, but Griffey's going to take it himself. Gets it up to the left side, bounces out. He's up the sideline, the 50, 45, 40. He's going to be forced out of bounds, takes some contact just at the 30-yard line. A huge first play from scrimmage for the Martinsville Artesians, and Travis Griffey starts it. And that is something he has done so far this whole season. He's carried it 47 times, 336 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the ground. So he's a quarterback that likes to run low snap. And this could be trouble. He has to go down. That's going to be a loss of about 4 or 5 yards. That's 2 straight low snaps here for the Artesians so far. The first one, Griffey was able to corral it and go for that long run. That time just messed up the rhythm of the play too much. And now the Artesians are facing 2nd and long. Early here in this first quarter, Artesians in those special unis, and that's a good snap. And he's going to set up the option. Osborne has it, still on his feet, gets it across the 30, so it gets it just past the original line of scrimmage by about 2 or 3 yards. They'll still bring up a 3rd and long, but a nice job by Isaac Osborne to make up some of that loss after the bad snap. We still have a good crowd coming in, and a quick snap, and Osborne that time not going to make much room, maybe a yard. But we're inside the Artesian 30. Carter Whitson, head coach of Martinsville, likes to go in this situation. 4th down now. He does have a kicker who could put it through the uprights here, but looks like the Artesians are going to go for it here on 4th down. Big play to start, and some movement. There are some flags. I believe that's going to be offsides against the Decatur Central Hawks. He got a little too aggressive. And that one's not going to be enough for a first down. They're still going to need to get a yard, 4th and 1, but it makes 4th down much more manageable to convert here. See what Griffey does here. He's just going to try to keep it, lowers his head, goes forward. I think he's got it. It's going to be close, but I think he's got it by about a yard. And the official's already going to signal first down, so the Artesians have it now at the 20. So far a good, strong opening drive for Martinsville. They started it on a long run by Travis Griffey. Kind of set the Artesians up where they're at now. 2 minutes into this first quarter, opening drive for the Artesians. Gonna fake it. That's a pass. The flag is up in the air. Tried to get it to Michael Hoppel, but just overthrew him by a couple steps. You'll hear the wind in the background as the wind is starting to pick up a little bit here at Sidowoods Field. Wind is to the Artesians' back, though, and the penalty is going to be against the Hawks. So a 5-yard penalty by Decatur Central. So first down, 5 yards to go from about the 15-yard line. Griffey, speed option, gets it to Osborne. He might get the edge and gets near the first down, but is tackled from behind. Jason Allen Jr. right there. You can see the quickness, though, of a lot of these Decatur Central Hawk players as they closed on Osborne pretty quickly. I thought he was going to get the edge, but they were able to close in on him and tackle him after about a 3-yard pickup. So second and short coming up for Martinsville. They ran that speed option a couple times. It's a very favorite play for Martinsville so far in this season. This time Griffey's just going to keep it up the middle. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet, dives forward. Is he in? Touchdown, Artesian strike first. And it's Travis Griffey who gets his 6th touchdown from the grounds. And you saw there, gets a high five from Andy Myers, who kind of hopped on one leg. Unfortunately, Andy Myers injured his ankle, and he will not be playing in tonight's game. So now Caleb Urban for the extra point to make this a 7-0 Martinsville lead. Kick is up. It looks perfect, and it is, and Caleb Urban is still perfect from extra points, dating back all the way to last season. So Artesian strike first. Good sign for Martinsville. Their lead 7-0, 9:37 left to go in the first quarter of play. You just kind of like the confidence that this Martinsville football team has been playing with. Coach Whitson said that he was not happy really with the performance against Greenwood despite the 29-8 victory. Artesians did commit a lot of penalties. Said he wasn't happy with some of the players who did a little bit more trash talking than he thought they should have. Said that's not how Martinsville plays. So wasn't happy with the performance, praised the defense, especially in that second half, but for the most part was not happy. And that's something you want to see, even when you win and you win a conference game on the road by about 3 touchdowns and you're still not happy with the performance. That means that you've got a program that's on the rise and is having some success. So we'll see what Caleb Urban does here as he's set to kick it off. Earlier in the season, he was kind of doing that high pooch kick, but last couple games he has put his full leg into it and put it in the end zone. We'll see what Coach Whitson has as Martinsville fans on their feet, ringing cowbells as you can hear in the background. Urban is going to put his leg into it, and this one is going to go into the end zone. No return for Decatur Central, and that's probably for the best, as Decatur Central, like I said, they have so much speed out there on the field that you don't want to get hurt in the return game. And you just don't let Larry Tracy, number 12, get a return, as he was the return man. You're going to see him on defense. You're going to see him some on offense. He's actually committed to playing the Big Ten down the road at Indiana University. So you want to try to limit number 12, Larry Tracy. And then also you want to look out for number 13, Kenny Tracy, who has had a lot of success offensively and has kind of been the key weapon for Decatur Central Hawks. They offense is very similar to Martinsville. They like to run on the ground. They've got a quarterback that can run and a running back that can run. We'll see what happens here. It gets to Kenny Tracy first. Artesians come up. They gang tackle him just before he can get to the 20. So not much there. Kenny Tracy might have gotten about a half a yard. Kenny Tracy comes in with 46 carries, 283 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Those numbers very similar to Isaac Osborne, and then quarterback Parker Harrington, number 8 out there, also very similar. He's carried it 43 times, 210 yards, 1 touchdown. So quarterback and running back, very similar numbers to Martinsville's quarterback and running back duo. High snap, but it's corralled. Harrington back to pass. He throws a dart. It's picked off! And a return taken just past the 20. What a great pick. And that's number 26, the freshman Weston Pemberton, with the interception, his second interception of the season. And you've got to believe that Harrington just did not see Weston Pemberton. I don't know if it's the camo uniforms or what, but that was a strike right to Weston Pemberton, who caught it and took it down to the 20-yard line. So now the Artesian offense gets to go back in great starting field position. So another great takeaway by the true freshman, Weston Pemberton. So after 2 plays on offense, Decatur Central gives it right back to Martinsville. Now looks like we'll have to have a substitution. Seth Gallion had to come out, and in place, number 87, Craig Wesner, goes in for him. Griffey by himself. He's going to take it, direct snap, and gets it across the 15. But there is a penalty flag back around the 17-yard line, and this typically is holding, and it is holding. So wipe away that play and going to move the Artesians back a few yards. Now, this is something that I'm sure Coach Whitson does not want to see, just due to so many penalties that the Artesians committed last week against the Woodmen. So that hold takes away from a nice 5 or 6 yard pickup. So 1st and 20 now coming up for the Artesians. 8:30 left to go in this first quarter of play. Hands it off to Isaac Osborne. He doesn't get much, maybe a yard or 2. So that time the defense contains the Artesian run game. Now 2nd and long. So Artesians may be in a passing situation here on this down. We will see. Like I said, Andy Myers is not out there. He's got his left foot, ankle in a boot. So we will not see him tonight. He does. Griffey's got 4 receivers to his right. He's going to take it to his left. There is a flag, 2 flags that come out. Griffey was tackled behind the line of scrimmage, but we'll have to sort out the penalties. One penalty flag was thrown right after the snap. Another one was thrown shortly into the play. It's an offsides on Decatur Central. Personal foul, horse collar on Decatur Central. So both penalties will be against Decatur Central. And I'm sure the Artesians will take the personal foul penalty. And that will give them 15 yards and I believe an automatic first down. So Decatur Central kind of shot themselves in the foot there. They were looking at 3rd and about 18 yards coming up for the Artesians. So the marker on the field showing 2nd down as Osborne is not going to get it. Griffey's going to keep it. Nice pull there from Travis Griffey because Osborne was pretty much going to be tackled in the backfield. Travis Griffey pulled it and took it up the middle So about a 7 or 8 yard pickup there. Artesians go quick on third down. Osborne has it this time. Leaps, gets to the 10-yard line. He's going to be really close to the first down marker. He's going to be about a half yard shy of it. So this is going to bring up fourth down and short coming up for the Artesians. I'm guessing the penalty, the 15-yard penalty that the Hawks committed was not in the a first down, and I believe it might have been a 10-yard penalty, so I'm not really for sure what the penalty was. Regardless, fourth down. Here we go. Osborne. And it looks like we have a stoppage of play here. And Decatur Central called a timeout. Unfortunately, they did because Martinsville, Isaac Osborne, was about to walk into the end zone. Decatur Central just got a timeout off. Unfortunately for the Artesians, the officials granted it to them. So that's their first timeout for the Hawks. And Artesian will have to try 4th and 2 here momentarily. But such a great start here in the first quarter for Coach Whitson and the Martinsville Artesians. And if you're just now joining us on the broadcast tonight, you'll see the Artesians not wearing traditional Artesian colors. They've got the American flag on the side of the helmet, and then they kind of have the Army green camo unis. They are honoring the National Guard and all members of the military here tonight at Ciderwoods Field. Had a very cool pregame with the national anthem sung by Corporal Rosario of the National Guard. Had a American flag out on the field that was unrolled and waved by several members of the community and former members of the military and current members of the military. So a very cool moment here before kickoff during the national anthem. And ever since then, it's been fireworks for the Artesians. They scored on their opening drive, a Travis Griffey touchdown run. And then after one offensive play, the next play for Decatur Central was an interception by the freshman Weston Pemberton. And now we're looking at a 4th and short coming up here for the Artesians. Low snap, and it's on the ground. Griffey picks it up, but he's going to go backwards. So now the another low snap, and then we've had a couple of these early in this game, and that one caused the Artesians possibly some points as they turned it over on downs, and now we'll see Decatur Central's offense back on the field. Unfortunate you get that close and you can't get points out of it. 4th and 2 with the ground game and the strength of Isaac Osborne and Travis Griffey. It's almost an automatic that you're going to at least get 2 yards, but the low snap, Griffey couldn't quite corral it, and by the time he had it picked up, he was taken down to the ground by about 2 Decatur Central defenders. So Artesian defense back on the field. They've only been out here for 2 plays after the interception. Fakes the handoff. Harrington gets to about the 30-yard line, so about a 4 or 5 yard pickup for the quarterback of the Hawks. Like I said, this offense shouldn't be that unfamiliar for the Artesians, as Decatur Central, very similar to the Artesians. They've got a quarterback and a running back that most of their offense goes through. They do a lot of option plays, so you really have to be disciplined. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Artesians. This time Tracy has it, trying to go around the right side. He might have the corner, still on his feet, and finally tackled, forced out of bounds for about a 3-yard loss. And Kenny Tracy, very athletic, and when he gets in space, I got a little nervous there. Looks like the Artesians had him in the backfield, but then he sprang free, tried to get to that edge, but couldn't quite get it. Nice job by the Artesian defense to come and have some team tackling there on the far sideline. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Hawks. See what they do. Last time Harrington put it in the air, it was picked off by the freshman Pemberton. Let's see if the Hawks try to go through the air again on this 3rd and 8. You got 2 receivers on the far side and 2 receivers here on the near side. Harrington rolls to his right, throws it. It is a low throw. Is it caught? I couldn't tell. It's going to be well shy of the first down. There is a flag at around the 20-yard line. We'll see what this is about. It's going to be holding against the Hawks. I'm going to guess that this penalty is probably going to be declined. That would bring up a 4th and 8 if the penalty is declined because I don't believe that the receiver caught that football. And it will be declined, so that'll bring up 4th and 8. Decatur Central has it at their own 26-yard line. So it looks like they are in punting situation, but you have to be careful. The quarterback, Harrington, is the punter, so you need to be ready for any type of trick play. And there is the punt. And it is going to be picked up at about the 35-yard line and could not escape the first defender. Nice open field tackle there by number 18, Peyton Horsley of the Artesians. And there is a late flag. I went to look at my roster here and look up, and now there's a penalty. And typically that's going to be a either an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty or a unnecessary roughness. It is a penalty against the Artesians, so that'll move that return back a little bit. So Decatur Central does at least flip field position. 5:32 left to go. Artesians with a 7-0 early lead in this first quarter. They were able to score in their opening drive. Artesians had another chance to score, had it in the red zone, but turned it over on downs on 4th and 2. But the Artesian defense was able to limit much yardage from the Hawks, and they were forced to punt it. But now the Artesians backed up a little bit. Griffey's going to fake the handoff. High pass, but it's caught by Gallion. Gallion knocked out of bounds. We'll see where he gets marked, and he's about a yard or two shy of the first down marker. So it's going to bring up 2nd and about 1.5. Artesians still going quick like they have most of this season. Griffey's going to keep it, try to get the edge. A flag comes. There have been a lot of penalties thrown in this first quarter. This official's arm has to be getting tired. So we've got a holding penalty against the Artesians. That's pretty much going to wipe out the nice first down play that the Artesians had, because that's going to bring it back just beyond the original line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 2nd and about 11. Those are the type of penalties that will hurt you. Instead of having 2nd and 1, you've got it now 2nd and 11. Griffey back to pass, throws it, and it is high. And we've got a flag that comes. We might have a pass interference on Decatur Central. There's a lot of contact there. Now Decatur Central, Coach Enright may argue that that was well over his head now. So we'll have to see what these penalty flags. There are 2 penalty flags on the field right now. As the officials discuss what they're going to call. Still waiting here on the calls. Referee. So it's going to be a personal foul, a face mask against Decatur Central. So we'll see what the penalty yards will bring up here. This should be a 15-yard penalty. And now that will give the Artesians a first down after the penalties walked off. So now we've got 1st and 10, 5:12 left to go in this first quarter. And some movement up front. I think that's once again Decatur Central. So this is a problem that Martinsville had last week. Had a few times that the defense jumped And now Decatur Central it's probably their second or third time that that defensive line has moved. So an offsides and give the Artesians 5 free yards. First down still for Martinsville. And we got movement again right there. It's the defensive tackle who is right over the football. He's the one that flinched. It's number 51 for Decatur Central, Isaac Lawrence. And that's going to be a first down for the Artesians. Not for sure if Griffey's giving him a hard count or what, but Decatur Central a little jumpy. Now Artesians just got 10 free yards. This time snaps it. Griffey's going to take it around the right side, and a nice open field tackle there. Number 21 from the Hawks, Jeremiah Winters, came up and tackled Griffey for about a 4 or 5 yard loss. It's about a textbook open field tackle there by Winters as he went low and took out the legs of Griffey, because Griffey's a big, strong kid, and usually the first man can't bring him down, but that time Winters did, and now Artesians are faced with a 2nd and 14. 4.5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. 5 seconds left in the play clock, and Coach Whitson's going to have to call a timeout. Little miscommunication. Artesians couldn't quite figure out the offensive play call. So the first timeout taken by the Artesians. Both teams have taken a timeout. Coach Whitson doesn't look too happy. Forcing to use a timeout here at the 4:27 mark of the first quarter. So Artesians, though, at least moving the football thanks to some Decatur Central penalties. So at the very least, if they are forced to punt this away, granted it's only 2nd down, so they still have a couple downs left to get this first down, 2nd and 14. But if they don't, they should be able to flip the field position back as they started this drive around their 20-yard line after the penalty on the return for the Artesians. So Griffey had that long run, first play from scrimmage, that helped set up his touchdown run eventually. But since then, offense has been a little stagnant. They've got some help from some penalties from Decatur Central, but his Decatur Central defense is pretty quick, so they can get to the football quick. Now Griffey, he's going to tuck it and run at the 40. The 50 gets turned upside down, crossing the 50-yard line into the Hawk territory. I don't think that was a design run. I think that he was forced out of the pocket. Griffey saw green grass ahead, and he was able to tuck it and run. It's about 3rd and 5 coming up for the Artesians. Ball just beyond midfield here. Going to hand it off to Osborne. Osborne swallowed up. And Isaac got pretty much tackled as soon as he got the football. So we'll see what Coach Whitson does here. 4th and long. And Artesians have it at their own 49-yard line. 3.5 minutes. Coach Whitson looks to be going for it, but we'll see if they maybe try to get him to jump. And now Griffey, it looks like he might just do a quick punt here, and he will. And not the best of punt, and it's going to be down at the 35-yard line. So Griffey there with a quick punt. And now Decatur Central's offense, which Artesian defense has done a great job containing. They'll come back out. Decatur Central will have it at their own 35-yard line. We're still in the first quarter, 3:13 left to go. And fortunately for the fans outside, and like I said, a lot of them here, no rain yet, but if you look at the radar, it looks like it is coming. So hopefully at least you avoid any thunderstorms or lightning delays, but still, so far no rain. Cloudy skies and some wind. High snap. Tracy has it. Not the cleanest handoff, and Tracy not going to get much. Artesians, looks like number 77, Logan Byram, was in there on the tackle, coming in from his defensive line spot. Only a 1-yard pickup from Tracy, as second long coming up for the Hawks. 4 seconds on the play clock. Hawks have to hurry. They just get it off. Harrington gets some pressure, and he gets away from it. Still on his feet, and gets a hard hit there as he dives across. The ball came loose. Artesian sideline says they have it. There's Coach Walton excited. I haven't seen an official call. There is a flag back at about the 28-yard line, so there is a penalty. And it is a fumble and recovered by the Artesians. I couldn't see. I saw the shot as Harrington did take a shot, but I could not see who recovered it and who put the hit on Harrington. It was a big, strong hit. And the penalty was against Decatur Central. That penalty was obviously declined, and now the Artesians offense will come back and have it at the Hawks' 45-yard line. So the second takeaway for the Artesians, second turnover for the Hawks. And both the turnovers have been committed by the quarterback, Harrington. He had an interception on the first drive for the Hawks, and then takes a hard shot, loses the football, and it's recovered by the Artesians. Griffey hands it off to Osborne. Osborne breaks the couple. Now he's at the second level. Still on his feet. Gets taken down at the 25. So a nice long run by Isaac Osborne. Good to see, because the last couple of runs he's had hasn't been able to get much. That time a big run for Isaac Osborne. Nice job of the O-line. Going to get it again. Spins off a couple defenders and gets out for maybe about a 2 or 3 yard pickup there. So a little bit more modest gain as opposed to his last one, but still moving forward are the Artesians. Under 2 minutes now in the first quarter. Football's at the 23-yard line. Artesians get the play from the sideline. And Griffey's going to keep it. Gets out near the 15-yard line, so it's going to be close to the first down, but I think it's going to be maybe a yard shy of it. Actually make that 2 yards shy, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 2 coming up for Martinsville, and they're ready to go again. And Griffey's going to take it. He's going to get the first down as he somersaults across the first down to about the 18-yard line, so a first down for the Artesians. And they're ready to go again. They're already lined up, just having to wait for the chains to get set. See what the Artesians do here. Maybe a play action, because the Artesians have really gotten a lot of success on the ground. Let's see if they can get the Hawks to bite on a play action. All his receivers are on the left of Griffey. And it's going to be Osborne around the left side. Puts his shoulder pads down and gets it to about the 10-yard line, so a nice first down pickup there from Isaac Osborne. This could be the last play of the first quarter. 20 seconds left on the play clock and about 23 left on the game clock. Travis Griffey hands it off to Osborne. That time Osborne goes nowhere. Tackled quickly by a couple Decatur Central Hawks, and that may be it for the first quarter, and Coach Whitson is going to say it is. So after one, Artesians with a 7-0 lead, and they're still driving. The Artesian fans love it. We'll be back with the second quarter after this.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
Join the majority.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. As we're about to get the second quarter underway, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, Artesians with a 7-0 lead, and they are driving. 3rd and 8, though, coming up. Artesians have it inside the 15-yard line of the Hawks. So we'll see what Coach Whitson has drawn up here coming out of the end of the first quarter. 3rd and 8 coming for the Artesians. Griffey's going to look to pass. He's got a man, and it's incomplete, but there's a flag that comes. And that was number 12, Larry Tracy, a very fine defensive back for the Hawks. There was some contact there with him and the Artesian receiver. We'll see if it is going to be a pass interference or not. We'll have to wait for the call from the guy in the white hat, referee here. And it will be a pass interference against Decatur Central. Now that is only saying this is only a 5-yard penalty. So this is still going to be 3rd and short coming up for the Artesians. Griffey has plenty of time on the play clock. Had a little trouble getting the play. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. Hands it off to Osborne. Osborne has enough for the first down, but not enough to get into the end zone. Gets it across the 5-yard line to the 4. That should be enough for the first down. Osborne comes off. And it is a first down. I was going to say, I'm looking across the field at the sticks there, and I couldn't see how it couldn't be a first down, but it's going to be 1st and goal for Martinsville coming up here. So Isaac Osborne out. Number 28, Tyler Cox in there to the left of Travis Griffey. Fakes the handoff. Tried to pass it, but he gets batted back. He's trying to look there to his left. I think that was Matt Thomas, the intended receiver. So 11:03 left to go here in the second quarter. Griffey, toss play. Cuts back inside, nowhere to go though, maybe a yard. Cox couldn't quite break the tackle. So it's going to bring up 3rd and short. Artesians get the play from the sideline. Tyler Cox still in there to the left of Griffey. Griffey, low snap. He's looking to pass, but he's going to get sacked from behind just before And it looks like we do have an injured Decatur Central Hawk, number 3, who did get the sack. That was Dylan Rennick. So now that'll bring up a field goal situation for the Artesians. Caleb Urban. It's about a 24-yard field goal coming up for the Artesians. Kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. So 3 points. I know the Artesians wanted 7, but they will take the 3 points, and they extend their lead 10-0 with 9:48 left to go in this second quarter here at Ciderwoods Field. Big Mid-State Conference matchup. 3-0 Martinsville Artesians hosting the 3-0 Decatur Central Hawks. So a nice job by the senior Caleb Urban to give the Artesians 3 points. So that's a couple times, though, that the Artesians have gotten it in the red zone but struggled to come away with a touchdown. Last time they had it in the red zone, they had to it was a turnover on downs after they couldn't convert on the 4th down. And that time they were inside the 5-yard line but could not punch it in. But Caleb Urban was able to give the Artesians 3 points to keep this to keep the Artesian lead at 10-0. So we'll see if Coach Whitson has Caleb boot this into the end zone. Force the Hawks to start at the 20-yard line. Here in the background, the fans making noise with those cowbells, and this time it is a high pooch kick, and that was a fair catch. Not the most emphatic fair catch, but a fair catch nonetheless, and Decatur Central will start around the 27, 28-yard line. So that time, Coach Whitson decided on the short pooch kick. Great crowd here tonight at Ciderwoods Field, and it's even more impressive because the inclement weather that could be coming, but so far so good for the Artesians and the fans. And we've got some movement, so we've got a flag, and it's going to be a false started against Decatur Central. So another penalty against the Hawks, and that moves them back 5 yards. So far, no rain. And when I came in at around 6:15 to the field, it looked like it was going to start raining right at kickoff and not really stop. But so far, so good. It is very cloudy, but wind is blowing from the far sideline across the field to the near sideline here. But so far, so good weather-wise. We're staying dry. 9:46 left to go in this second quarter. Kenny Tracy hands off up the middle and almost broke it free. Got about a 4-yard pickup there. Nice job of the Artesian defense to come up and slow Tracy down, because when he gets to the second level, it can get dangerous. But still, 2nd and 11 for the Central Hawks. If you can get Decatur Central into passing situations, that's where they struggle a little bit. Harrington, not a whole lot of success on the passing, and it's an end around for Tracy. Tracy on the far sideline gets run out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. I hear the radio broadcast next to me say there is a flag on the play. I don't see a flag, but it looks like the officials are meeting. So there is a flag, and it's going to be a hold against Decatur Central, so the Hawks commit another penalty. So that'll move them back 10 yards, and we'll redo 2nd down. So the penalty yard will be marked off at the spot of the foul. So it'll be 2nd and 14 from the Decatur Central 25-yard line. High snap, Harrington takes it. Now he's going to escape the pocket, and he gets tackled, brought down from behind. Try to see who that was when he gets up. Looks like that was number 88, Ben Marino, one of the defensive ends who came up and tackled Harrington from behind to limit his gain, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Hawks. The Artesians can force a 4th down here. It more than likely will bring up a punting situation. 8:11 left to go in this first half of play. Artesians with a 10-0 lead. This is the defense who's coming off a second half shutout of Greenwood last week. Harrington's going to roll to his left. He's going to look deep. He's got a man wide open. That's number 2 for Decatur Central, and he is tackled after he crosses the 25-yard line. And Harrington had a wide open receiver. That was number 2, Dylan Rennick for Decatur Central. And it's got to be a bit of a backbreaker there for the Artesians as they were hoping to force another Decatur Central punt. That's the first big play for this Decatur Central Hawk offense so far tonight. And it goes for a big one. So Decatur Central has fresh life here. 7:40 left to go in the first quarter, and now they've got the ball in the Artesian territory and about a yard or two away from a red zone. Artesian fans still making noise, trying to bring this defense up. Quick pass, another wide open receiver. Tackled there on the far sideline. Seth Gallion with the tackle, and the reception, number 84 for the Hawks, Sebastian Murillo. That's back-to-back receivers who are pretty much wide open. Easy catches for them. So the Hawks now finding some success through the air, which is, they're more of a ground game, but last 2 plays have been through the air, and this one is going to be an end around. Kenny Tracy gets stopped, and a flag's going to come as Kenny Tracy gets across the 15, but this might be another hold against Decatur Central. Official still discussing the penalty flag, and it will be a hold against Decatur Central. So that will move the Hawks back to about the 25-yard line, bring up 2nd and long coming up for them. Artesian's done a nice job on that end around that Kenny Tracy has. Like you said, when Kenny Tracy gets in space, things can happen for the Hawks. But the last 2 times, not only have the Artesians defended it well, but Decatur Central has kind of shot themselves in the foot regardless. They've had 2 holding penalties on the end around play. 6:24 left to go here in the first half. Artesians showing blitz. Picked up nice by Decatur Central. He's got a man wide open. It is caught inside the 10. And I think that was number 14, Sau, who caught that. And once again, I had a Decatur Central player who was wide open, and the ball was actually underthrown. He had to stop and wait for it. If that ball is right on the mark, Decatur Central probably has a touchdown, but it is 1st and goal for the Hawks from the 2-yard line. Artesians had a really strong goal line stand against Greenwood last week. Let's see if they can do it again. Sau in motion, hands it off to Tracy. He gets hit in the backfield, and he is driven backwards to about the 10-yard line. Jacob Burkett, Ben Marino in there on the tackle. And Kenny Tracy hit a wall. Forward progress was stopped at around the 5-yard line. So even though he was pushed back to about the 10, they will mark him at the 5-yard line. So 2nd goal from there. Under 10 seconds left to go on the play clock here. Harrington will have to snap it here in a hurry. Tracy's to his right. Just gets it off. Harrington keeps it. He's looking to pass it, and he's got Tracy wide open. Touchdown, Decatur Central. Harrington play action to Tracy, who got out wide open on the left side. And a touchdown for the Decatur Central Hawks, and it kind of quiets this Artesian crowd just a bit. Kenny Tracy, that's his second touchdown reception of the season so far. And now the Hawks are 1 point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point is up, and it looks good, and it is good. So Decatur, they get on the scoreboard with 4:54 left to go in the first half. Artesian still have a 10-7 lead. But even though Decatur Central shot themselves in the foot a couple times, a couple of big plays from the Hawks set them up for that touchdown. The one that this broadcaster can remember was the Hawks had it 3rd and 9 back in their own territory and had a wide open receiver. Got it to the Artesian 25-yard line. About a 30-plus yard pass play for them. But Artesian offense will have to respond. You know that you're more than likely not going to shut out Decatur Central. They've got too many playmakers, or too athletic to put up 0 points. So you've got to be able to respond when they score. So far, the defense have done a good job. Take away a couple of big plays on that last drive and could have forced a Decatur Central punt, but now the offense has to respond as it's a short kick. It's going to be returnable at about the 5-yard line. Makes one man miss, but cannot escape the other 2 defenders. Gets it out to about the 20-yard line. And that was Tyler Cox who had that return. So that gets it out past the 20 to about the 21-yard line. That's where the Artesian offense will take over. Artesians have had some big plays of their own. Most of those, though, have been on the ground as opposed to the Decatur Central team. Their big plays have come through the air. Griffey. And it's a bad snap, and Isaac Osborne will pick it up and gets tackled at the 10. And that's the 3rd or 4th low snap for this Artesian football team, and it's really hurt the rhythm of this offense. So that's got to be corrected. Coach Evans of the offensive line coach of Martinsville need to work on that, as it's now 2nd and 16 after the bad snap. Fortunately, Osborne was able to jump on it and was not a turnover. That time it's a good snap. Osborne up the middle, not much room, gets it maybe 2 or 3 yards, but now you're going to be looking at 3rd and long. So 3rd and 16, 3.5 minutes left to go in this first half. Griffey back to pass. He's looking to go deep. He's got a man. There's some contact and a flag. And it's against number 14, Larry Tracy. And he's got to be careful. He's throwing his mouthpiece and starting to show a little too much emotion. We'll see what the official call is. There was some contact when the ball was in the air, and it's already been called. It is pass interference on Decatur Central. Granted, it's not enough for a first down, so it will be 3rd down for the Artesians, but they're in a much better position than they were last time they had 3rd down. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Artesians. Griffey's going to take it himself. He's going to get tackled. I think he's going to be short. Yep, he's got maybe a yard, so it's going to bring up 4th down for the Artesians, and that time Decatur Central. And Decatur Central took a timeout, so they're going to hope to get the ball back. That's their 2nd timeout of the first half for them, so they've got 1 remaining. And you would have to think that Coach Whitson is probably going to punt this away. 4th and 3 inside your own 30. You don't want to give Decatur Central a chance for a short touchdown. They've still got 3 minutes, 14 seconds left. So we'll see what Coach Whitson brings out here for the Artesians. And they're going to bring out the offense. Now this might be just a way to see if we can get Decatur Central to jump and get a 1st down. So we're going to probably have a hard count here. 16 on the play clock. Artesians still have 2 timeouts, so if they need to burn one, if they can't get them to jump, they can. Decatur Central that time is disciplined. And we're going to take the, I don't know if Coach Whitson called a timeout. Nope, they're going to take the delay game. So they'll take the delay game penalty. And we'll bring out the punting team. Hopefully Caleb Urban can pin the Hawks back. But you need to be careful on this snap. Caleb Urban, not the biggest kid in the world, so you don't want to snap it over his head. Make sure that he can get it. Caleb puts it up, end over end, and it's going to take a great Artesian roll. What a great punt by Caleb Urban. That's going to go all the way to about the 20-yard line. Great punt by Caleb Urban. Flips the field position, and the Artesian defense will come out. Decatur Central will have it at their own 20-yard line with 3:01 left to go in this 2nd quarter. So a big moment here for the Artesian defense, as Artesians have a 10-7 lead, 3:01 left to go in this 1st quarter, or this 1st half, I should say. You don't want to give up anything big and give Decatur Central more momentum into the, and throws up a prayer and well overthrown Kenny Tracy. So Harrington rolled out, tried to get it to his playmaker, Kenny Tracy, but nice coverage there by the Artesian defensive backfield. So 2nd down coming up for the Hawks. Decatur Central, 1 timeout. The Artesians have 2, so Artesians can use some timeouts if they think they can get the ball back with some time to maybe get some more points. But first, the defense has to do their job. And Decatur Central, do they just use, I believe Decatur Central just used their 3rd and final timeout. So they have no more timeouts in this half with 2:52 left to go in the 1st half. 2nd and 10 coming up for them after this timeout. So low-scoring 1st half, and you're not too surprised. I mean, both of these teams have offensive power for sure. You know, Artesians come in, they're averaging 40 points per game. Decatur Central comes in averaging over 25 points a game. But the defenses have been really impressive for both these squads. Like I said earlier, Decatur Central comes in averaging 11.7 points per game on their end. Artesians come in at giving up only 16 points per game. So both these defenses pretty stout. so far in the first 3 games of this early season here of 2018. Harrington, he's going to roll to his right again. He gets pressure, and he underthrows it, and it's picked off. Artesians have it. A horrible mistake by Harrington. Tried to do an underthrow pass, and a flag comes late. And it's Jacob Burkett that ends up with the interception. We'll have to see what the flag is. It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Hawks. So that's going to give the Artesians some free yards. Great awareness by number 30, Jacob Burkett. Heads up play by the junior, and just a poor decision by the quarterback, Parker Harrington. Had pressure from the ends of Martinsville. Stepped up, realized he was going to go down, tried to underhand the throw, and right into the arms of Jacob Burkett, and that's given this Artesian fan base some new life, as things were starting to get a little bit of a lull here as Decatur Central had just scored. Artesian offense couldn't get into the end zone last time they had it here. Had to do a field goal from Caleb Urban. That's the difference so far. 13 seconds on the play clock, so Artesians will have to hurry up coming out of the turnover. Still good time, though. Nobody in the backfield with Griffey. And he's going to take it himself up the middle. And got about 3 or 4 yards. Artesians don't need to be in a hurry here. You don't want to give the ball back to Decatur Central with too much time. You got 2:25 left to go here in the second quarter. Second goal coming up for Martinsville. Griffey's going to try to keep it. Gets away from a couple, but cannot escape the 3rd and 4th defender. Not much there. Might have lost a yard or 2. So now 3rd and goal from about the 8-yard line. So about a 2-yard loss there. Once again, the Artesians offense really struggled getting it in the red zone here. Just not quite been able to just pound it up the middle like they have in the first 3 games with Osborne and Griffey. And we'll see if Coach Whitson wants to take a timeout. He's got 2 in his pocket. All right, now the play clock has been reset. Now it's running, so the play clock and the game clock are both going. 19 seconds on the play clock, so you got plenty of time to get this play off. Osborne is to the left of Griffey. Griffey's going to look to pass. He's got a man. It is over the head. Tried to get it to number 22, Michael Hopple. And Hopple was open. If you hit him on the mark, then that's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Michael Hopple. But the Decatur Central defense got to give it to him. That goal line D of theirs looks like it's going to keep the Artesians out of the end zone again. And Caleb Urban now set up for about a 25-yard field goal once again. Kick is up. It is good. So Caleb Urban 2 for 2 from about the same spot, but you got to feel a little bit disappointed. I'm sure Coach Whitson and the coaching staff wanted to put 7 on the board once again. So you think about it, this could be a 21-7 lead. Instead, it's a 13-7 lead after the 2 field goals from Caleb Urban. So 1:22 left to go on the clock for Decatur Central. So they have, I believe, 0 timeouts left. So interesting to see how aggressive they are when they get the ball back. So Caleb Urban will get set to kick this one away. Tracy back there, also Dylan Rennick. Or check that, not Dylan Rennick, Jason Allen Jr. back for the Hawks. Urban, short pooch kick. That's going to take a Martinsville bounce, though, and it's going to be picked up at the 15. Kenny Tracy, he's got space on the left side, still on his feet. He's got to beat the kicker, and Caleb Urban trips him up out of bounds. And there is a flag on another flag on the far side, just past the 45-yard line. We'll see what this is about. So there is another penalty marker, but have to wonder, another short kick. If Caleb Urban's able to get that in the end zone, there is no return, and Decatur Central has to start it at their own 20. But right now, they've got the ball in the Artesian 45-yard line. But there is a discussion on the far side from the officials. There is a penalty marker on that far side, so they're probably discussing the penalty. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Artesians, and those are the type of things, type of penalties that can drive a coach nuts. Coach Whitson quoted in the paper, he wasn't happy, not just some of the penalties that Martinsville committed last week, but just some of the trash talking that his players did. Said that's not what this program is about. So then these are the type of things that can hurt you as a football team. So Decatur Central, 1 minute and 9 seconds left. And now they've got the ball at the Artesian 30-yard line. So Martinsville had a chance to go in the locker room 13-7, but now Decatur Central has a shot to take the lead going in the locker room if they can score and get the extra point. Harrington's going to pass it. He's going to get taken out of the pocket. He cuts back inside. He's still on his feet, still going. At the 10, gets hit hard out of bounds, and that's going to be a personal foul. You can't do that. Harrington was well out of bounds and got an extra shove, and Coach Whitson has to be beside himself. Yeah, Coach Whitson, he's on the sideline. I can just tell his body language. He is not happy. That's an uncalled for penalty. And now Decatur Central is going to get the ball inside the 10-yard line, actually maybe inside the 5-yard line after that penalty. So inside the 5-yard line with under a minute left to go, and the Artesians have put themselves in this situation. The short kick by Caleb Urban, that was returned to the 45-yard line. Add 15 penalty yards on top of that, and then the long run from Harrington, and then another personal foul penalty. And this is where you're at here. Decatur Central does not have any timeouts left, so if they do not make it to the end zone, the clock will be rolling. Barring an incomplete pass, obviously. So 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Artesian were in this exact same situation last week against Greenwood, and were able to keep Greenwood out of the end zone. Let's see if they can do the same with the Hawks. It's a toss play on the left side, and Kenny Tracy slips. So he goes backwards. The clock's still going to move, so Decatur Central will have to hurry a little bit as the clock is at the 45 seconds. And Decatur Central taking quite a bit of time here, so this is good for the Artesians. 2nd and goal. Artesians, if they can get another stop here, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the Hawks to get the next play off. They might pass this one in passing formation. Harrington rolls to his right, looking to pass. He throws it. It is caught and touched. It's going to be close. I thought he got it, but no, he is going to be shy of the end zone, about the 1-yard line. 14 seconds. Decatur Central has to hurry this up. Artesians with a chance to keep them out. 8 seconds now. Harrington under center. And he downs it. 2.5 seconds left. Smart play by the quarterback Harrington that time. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. This will be the last play, barring a penalty, of the first half. Artesian fans on their feet. Cowbells ringing. We'll keep it right here. We'll see what happens. And it's looks like going to be a timeout. There's a whistle that was A whistle was blown that stopped the play. I don't know if that was an inadvertent whistle or what. There should be 2.4 seconds on the clock because that play should not have been run. Fourth and 1. This will do it here for this first half. Here are the Artesian fans in the background. Toss play to Kenny Tracy, and he is going to, and there's two penalty flags come out. There's no time on the clock. If this is a holding penalty, holding against the Hawks. Kenny Tracy, a toss play on the left-hand side. He got into the end zone, but a penalty against the Hawks will take away the touchdown. Now we'll get the official call here from the officials. Holding on Decatur Central. Now Coach Whitson is on the field here. He's saying that the half should be over. Decatur Central is arguing that they should have one untimed down play to run. Going to be honest, I'm not sure what IHSAA rule dictates here. A play was run, the clock was definitely, the time had run out. And Coach Whitson is about headed to the locker room, but the official's stopping him, and Coach Whitson wants an explanation. And it looks like the officials are going to give Decatur Central one more untimed down play. 4th and goal. But first, Coach Whitson was going to want to get an explanation from the officials. Now, there might be a rule that you cannot end a half or a game on an offensive penalty. That's the discussion. And we will have one more play. This will be an untimed play. There are 0 seconds on the game clock. Coach Whitson trying to get this crowd on their feet. It's 4th and goal from about the 10-yard line. Harrington gives it to Tracy. It's a reverse. It's a pass. He's going to try to get it to Harrington. Incomplete. That will do it. Incomplete pass. The Artesians get the stop they need. They go in the locker room 13-7. Great stop by the Artesians. We will be back with the third quarter right after this.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face, yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the play-by-play call here in the third quarter. Sorry for the getting back late, and we actually did miss a little bit of action as Decatur Central, after the Caleb Urban kickoff that put it in the end zone, the first play that Decatur Central threw was a tip pass intercepted by number 6 Garrett Miles. So now the Artesian offense is on the field, and the Travis Griffey, the forward progress had stopped, so the fumble is null and void. But he had a short pass that was completed on first down, and then the second down play that you saw went nowhere, actually went probably backwards a yard or two, so now we're 3rd and long. So the fourth takeaway by the Artesians, an interception by Garrett Miles, the first play from scrimmage in this third quarter, and now the Artesians are faced with 3rd and 9. I'm sure Coach Whitson wants to try to get some more points on these turnovers, has pressure, throws it, and man, it is caught, and touchdown! And it's number 3, Seth Gallion on the reception. There is a penalty flag, however, at around the 30-yard line. We will have to see what this is, and it's coming back. The touchdown after a penalty flag, a holding call, and that will take away the touchdown, and you can hear the Artesian fans not happy by the call. Seth Gallion with a good catch into the end zone, but it'll go for nothing as the penalty pushes the Artesians back. 3rd and forever now, 3rd and about 20 from the 41-yard line. So we'll see what Coach Whitson draws up here. That is a punch in the gut to have a touchdown taken away, but we'll try it again. Griffey back to pass. He cannot escape number 90. I thought he was going to step up and avoid the sack, but could not get away from Jordan Miles, who brings him down. And similar to the first half, the Artesians get the turnover, but cannot put points on the board. Had 3 turnovers last week, or in the first half, I should say, and got 6 points out of it. Starts the second half with a takeaway, and now we're going to be forced to punt it away. High snap, punt. It's going to take an Artesian bounce, and this could be really good for Martinsville. They're going to down it at the 1. A great job, Caleb Urban on the punt, and a great job by the punt team to run down there and get that ball inside the 1. Decatur Central will have their back to the wall. That is a perfect punting situation. So you didn't get the touchdown after the holding penalty negated that, but you forced the Decatur Central offense, which has really struggled against this Martinsville defense, to have to start inside their own 1. It was good to see Gallion make that reception and score. The Artesian receivers are really going to have to step up, especially with the injury of Andy Myers. But it was good to see the catch by Gallion. Unfortunately, the penalty took it away. And it's going to be a pass back in the end zone, and it is, nearly intercepted again. I think Seth Gallion got a hand on it, but he couldn't haul it in, as Harrington, who has thrown 3 interceptions tonight, was trying to get it to one of his receivers, at number 13, Kenny Tracy. They're trying to get the ball to Kenny Tracy's hands. That's their playmaker, but Harrington has had 3 interceptions and a fumble. So the quarterback for Decatur Central, Parker Harrington, rough game so far, 4 turnovers. And now 2nd and 10 from the 1. Harrington rolls to his left. He's going to try to pass again. He's in a little bit of trouble. Throws to his right. Throws it up in the air. It is, nearly intercepted again. And Harrington just kind of threw that up. Garrett Miles that time on the coverage. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 So an interesting play call by Coach Enright both times, passing from deep in your own end zone. Typically you might try to run a quarterback keeper, a quick inside handoff to just give yourself a little bit of breathing room, but no, that time another pass play. So 3rd and 10 from the 1. Harrington this time under center. Going to go back to pass again, throws it. He does have a man, overthrows him though on the far side. He had Jason Allen Jr., who had a step and a half on his defender, but Harrington overthrew it. And now they're going to have to punt, and their punter is going to have his heels back at the end of the end zone. Let's see if Artesians bring some pressure. They don't have a deep man back. Garrett Miles is back, but he's at the 25-yard line. Or check that Seth Galleon's back to return. They're going to bring some pressure, and they nearly get it, but it cannot. Gets the punt away, and it does take a hawk roll. So it'll be down still inside the 45-yard line. So good starting field position for the Artesians. So great special teams play on that last punt for Martinsville that pinned Decatur Central inside their 1. They tried 3 pass plays from their own end zone, all 3 incomplete. Nice coverage by the Artesian defense. And now the offense is back on the field. Offense got some things going last time, but a holding call took away a touchdown. We'll see if they can put it in the end zone this time around. 13-7, 8:50 left to go in the 3rd quarter. You're watching WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here giving you the play-by-play call of this big mid-state conference game between the Artesians and Hawks. Osborne kind of delayed handoff and just nowhere to go. Isaac Osborne has had no room right there up the middle. One of the officials asked for the game clock to stop. I don't know if there's a penalty. There is. It was a penalty. I did not see the flag, but they have called a face mask against the Decatur Central Hawks. I could not see a penalty marker, but an incidental face mask. That's only a 5-yard penalty, but it will give the Artesians a redo on that first down. 10 seconds on the play clock, plenty of time for Griffey. And Griffey's going to keep it and gets it out to about the 35-yard line, or maybe just shy of it, so about 2 or 3 yards short of the first down. I did see Hunter Stout working on the sidelines with Coach Evans, trying to get that snap up just a little bit. There were a couple low snaps in that first half. He's really trying to work on that, get that long snap perfect. Really is the important key to the rhythm of this offense, especially if you're going to do that, the option. Perfect snap there. Griffey's going to keep it, cuts back inside, still on his feet, still fighting for yards, and maybe about a yard shy of the first down, so maybe a 2-yard pickup there. So Decatur Central really, they're going to be under center. Quick snap, and I think Griffey strong enough, big enough to get the first down. Ever since that very first play from scrimmage where Travis Griffey took a quarterback draw about 30-plus yards, the Artesian run game up the middle especially just hasn't had a ton of room. Decatur Central really putting about 8 in the box and forcing Artesians to throw it. They're really trying to take the ground game away from the Artesians. And this time he's going to throw it, and I think there's a little miscommunication there on the route. And we've got another penalty around the, and it's roughing the passer against Decatur Central. So Coach Enright has got to be sick because there have been several penalty calls that have really hurt his football team, and that one's a big one. Instead of 2nd and 10, you've got it 1st and 10, and you're 15 yards closer. Ball will be marked inside the 20-yard line. So this is where the Artesian offense has struggled, and that's why they've got 13 points on the board thanks to Caleb Urban, but very well could have 21, but just have not been able to put it in the end zone when they've got it inside the red zone. Osborne spins but can't get away from the defender. Number 2 there for Decatur Central on the tackle. It's Allen Jr. So Isaac Osborne doesn't get much, actually didn't give him anything. Griffey's going to keep it. He's going to try to get out to the outside and nowhere to go. So you just see how quick these Decatur Central players are from the edge. You think Griffey has got the corner, but all of a sudden you look up and there's 1 or 2 players right there. Just really fast on the edge and hasn't really been able to get much on the ground up the middle or getting to the outside. So now you're going to have another 3rd and long coming up, and Martinsville really needs to get something going here because Decatur Central's offense is not going to stay stagnant for long. Griffey's got pressure, all kinds. He's not going to get away. They brought the house. They knew that Martinsville was going to have to pass, and they brought everybody. So Caleb Urban trots out here. Are they going to try a long field goal? So this is going to be a 51-yard field goal attempt by Caleb Urban. Does he have it? He's got it. Caleb Urban, a 51-yard field goal from the senior. And this crowd is loving it. His long last year was 48 yards. He just bested it. 51-yard field goal, 3 for 3 on the night so far. Artesian's up 16-7. What a weapon to have, Caleb Urban. A 51-yard field goal. And that looked like it had a couple more yards left. And here comes Caleb Urban for the kickoff, and it will be taken right at the 1. So this will be returned. Artesians have it contained. There's a couple flags, and they are tackled at the 15-yard line, but there are flags, and I think this is going to go against Decatur Central, so they're going to go backwards some more. Good coverage there by the Artesians. So we'll see what exactly the penalties are. I believe it's going to be a block in the back, and that's exactly what it is against the Decatur Central Hawks. So that'll push them back some. And they're going to have really tough field position again. Last time they were out, they had it inside their own 1, a little bit better inside their own 5. So the Artesian defense will step up. Artesian defense, 2 games in a row, they have given up 0 points in the second half. They did it here at Siderwoods Field 2 weeks ago against Bloomington South, and last week at Greenwood. So far in this third quarter, they're doing it again. 4:56 left to go. And you see what special teams can do. Last time Caleb Urban punted, and the punt team did a great job of getting it down in the 1 and the 51-yard field goal. Now another, and it's a high snap, and that's going to go in the end zone. That is a safety. So 2 more points for the Artesians, and they will get the ball back. And the momentum is all at the Martinsville Artesians. The high snap, Harrington had no chance of getting it. It rolled out in the back of the end zone for a safety. 2 points, Artesians, and now the offense will get a chance to get back out there. 4:53 to go, 18-7, Artesians lead it. This second half has been all Martinsville. First, they get the interception to start the third quarter. And then some really good special team plays brought to you by Caleb Urban. And now a safety on the high snap. And Decatur Central have to free kick this one from their own 20-yard line. So regardless of what happens here, the Artesians should have decent starting field position on this drive. But unfortunately, the Artesians will have to get in the end zone. They've struggled to do that all night tonight. They've had plenty of opportunities, just haven't been able to punch it in. That's a testament to the Decatur Central defense that's only given up 11.7 points per game this season. So the free kick, it's a high kick, good kick, and it's going to be taken around the 25-yard line. Bounces off, Cox does, and still on his feet, but he's going to go down around the 40-yard line, I think, is where they'll eventually mark it. Actually, they're going to take it at the 38-yard line, so still decent starting field position for the Artesians. And I think we have a penalty. I think the official said a hold against Martinsville. So if that's the case, that's going to push them back. We do have an injured Decatur Central player on the 35-yard line, I believe. Athletic trainers will come out and tend to him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. And so far, the weather has cooperated. We are more than halfway through this third quarter and have not had any rain so far. That is number 21 for Decatur Central, Jeremiah Winters. Just now joining us, you'll see the Artesians, not typical Martinsville colors for their jerseys. Tonight they honored members of the National Guard and the rest of the military, so kind of some Army green National Guard camo jerseys for tonight's game. As Griffey pulled the ball from Osborne, and not much there, just this ground game has not been able to get going. Travis Griffey, 2nd and 13. Fakes the handoff. He's going to try to get it to Thomas, and no flag. I thought that the Decatur Central player came down on Thomas's arms a little early. There's no way that Artesian receiver could have caught that because his arms got hacked before the ball got there, but no flag comes out, which is a rare thing here in tonight's game. There have been a lot of penalties, mainly on Decatur Central, but Martinsville's had their fair share as well, and that time Probably one should have been thrown, but no call, so you've got third and long coming up. Good snap. Some pressure. Sets up. Ooh, the screen. I thought it might go, but right there, Decatur Central was right there on it. I think that was number 2, Jason Allen Jr. with the tackle, and that's going to bring out a punting situation again. That was a good play call, the screen play, because Decatur Central has been really bringing the blitz and bringing some pressure, but just couldn't beat the one man you had to. High snap. Caleb's able to corral it. They come bring pressure. It's a high punt, and it's off the side of his foot, and Decatur Central will get the ball in the Artesian territory. So not the best punt by Caleb Urban, but it was a high snap, and he was getting all kinds of pressure, so fortunate enough to get that away. So good job to at least get it off his foot. So now the defense is going to need to respond again. This time Decatur Central actually does have field position to work with. The last 2 times they've had it, they've been inside their 1 or inside their 5. This time they've got some room to work. Gives it to Tracy around the right side. Tracy bounces out, still going, and ooh, gets hit hard and driven back. I think that might have been Will Nix coming up from the safety spot, but still a decent first down run for Kenny Tracy, and Artesians have done a really good job of not letting him really have a big game. Had 4 touchdowns last week against Whiteland and has been quiet so far tonight. 2nd and 6, though, coming up for the Hawks. Artesian defense trying to keep their second half shutout streak alive. We'll see. A lot of time left, 2.5 left to go in the third quarter. Harrington's going to take it himself up the middle and gets it to the second level, and first down and more. Crosses the 35-yard line to the 34. So we've had recognized the National Guard and military at halftime. Reed Staggs, basketball player for the Martinsville basketball team, had his hair cut and donated that in recognition of Child Cancer Awareness Week, which the Artesians, you'll see some fans and students with Fight Like a Kid. So trying to raise awareness and recognition to children that are battling cancer, which was a cool moment as Harrington rolls out to his left. He's going to tuck and run and gets close to the first down. And Harrington had nowhere to go but right up the middle there on that rollout. So Artesian defense kind of let him escape there and got about a 6-7 yard pickup. But Martinsville High School done a couple nice things, recognizing the National Guard and the military, then also trying to just raise awareness for children with cancer. So really cool night here at Sidewoods Field, and so far a good football game brewing. 1:25 left to go in this third quarter. Second down, high snap, Harrington corrals it. Kenny Tracy trying to get to the outside. Artesians do a nice job, and he dives forward. And the officials say he was down. Kenny Tracy slipped trying to make a move, and I think his knee hit, and it did. So that's going to be a really big loss for the Hawks. It's going to bring up third and about 9. And Artesians have done just such a phenomenal job not letting Kenny Tracy get to that outside. .36 seconds left to go. 2 seconds on the play clock. They get it off just barely. Harrington looks to pass. He does. Wide open and tackled, hit hard, but the reception is made at the 15-yard line. So a first down, and Decatur Central threatening now. And this is where you wish some of those turnovers you could have turned into touchdowns. You got an 18-7 lead, so even if Decatur Central scores here, you're still going to keep the lead, but it's going to cut into it, make it a very close ball game right now. Decatur Central doesn't have to run a play here. 10 seconds on the game clock. We will see if they do. They will. Hands it off up the middle. I believe that's Tracy. Tracy nearly breaks it, but he gets tackled as he gets to the second level, and that will do it. As Decatur Central's driving, but Artesians have the 18-7 lead. We'll be back to finish this up in the fourth and final quarter after this.
Join the majority.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the fourth and final quarter of this exciting Mid-State Conference matchup at Ciderwoods Field between the Martinsville Artesians and the Decatur Central Hawks. Decatur Central's driving, and as I've said all game, the weather has kind of cooperated, which I didn't think it would, but now I'm seeing a lot more umbrellas and rain jackets come on. We'll see how that affects it. Harrington rolls out, has a man wide open. It's caught, touchdown. Decatur Central scores. So Decatur Central gets another touchdown. Down by 5. We'll see what they do here, if they're going to try to get a 2-point conversion or take the extra point. You can hear in the background that wind really starting to pick up. It's still blowing across the field from the far sideline to us at the near sideline. So they're going to try to go for 2, make this a one-possession game here. And Harrington's going to roll out to his right. He's going to try to look back, and he is going to run for it and score. And he has done that so many times. The defense just hasn't been able to corral him. He's rolled out to his right, found nobody open, and then hasn't been able to escape the pocket and get yards with his legs. And he did it again that time, and that time he gets 2 points for it. So it's 18-15, so now it's a 3-point ball game. You can see there from our camera, it is really starting to come down now. You can actually visibly see the rain. And we've been fortunate. The weather was supposed to be like this pretty much the whole game. If you would have looked at the radar before the game time at 7 o'clock tonight, it was Martinsville was covered in green. But so far, this is the first time that we've had any type of really significant rain to start this fourth quarter. So we'll see how this affects the game, how it affects the play calling. Kick is going to be run up and taken at the 15-yard line. And try to get it to the outside on the edge, but couldn't quite find a whole lot of running room. Does get it beyond the 25-yard line. It was Osborne, I think, on the return. Handoff, nowhere to go. That was Donovan Hooten, and he went backwards on the handoff. And just the running game just has not been there. This Decatur Central defense has done really, really well so far. I mean, this is a Martinsville team that came in averaging over 40 points a game, and they've got 18. Griffey, he's going to try to run. Cannot, well, it breaks one tackle, spins, gets close to the original line of scrimmage, but can't get any further than that. So 3rd and long coming up for Martinsville, and Artesians really need a first down here. Just keep this drive going, and momentum starting to swing back in Decatur Central's favor after they scored that last touchdown and 2-point conversion. Griffey's going to roll, and he pitches it. The ball's on the ground. Hooten's able to get on top of it. Probably ill-advised pitch there by Travis Griffey because there was nowhere to go. There's 2 or 3 Decatur Central players already in the backfield by the time the play got going, and Martinsville's going to be forced to punt it again. Just this offense can't really get things going, and with this rain the way it's coming down, it's going to be really hard to get a passing game going. So I believe this is Griffey back to punt this. Want to be careful. You're back to your own end zone. They bring a ton of pressure, and it's a straight-up punt. It's a bad punt. Griffey got hit, but no flags came out. Now Decatur Central will have great starting field position here and a chance to either tie it or take the lead. So Decatur Central will get to start at the Artesian 26-yard line. This is where the Martinsville defense will really need to step up. They have gotten 4 takeaways, forced the Decatur Central to make some mistakes. Do they have another one? And Harrington's going to roll. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and he's been able to find most of his success from the ground. He dives forward for about an 8 or 9 yard pickup. That's what he's done. He's kind of rolled out, looked to pass, and just decides to tuck and run. So actually gets a little less than I thought. I thought he was closer to the first down than he actually was, about 3 yards shy of it. So 2nd and 3 coming up for Decatur Central. Hands off up the middle to Tracy. Tracy, and the ball came loose. Did the Artesians get it? And Martinsville's got it. That's another takeaway for the Artesian defense. Tracy put it on the ground after taking a pop, and Martinsville, exactly what they needed, recovered the fumble. The 5th takeaway for the Artesians tonight. And the umbrellas will go away, so it looks like the rain has stopped momentarily. That's good for this broadcaster because someone in front had like an industrial-size umbrella. So it makes seeing a little bit better up here in the press box, but I can't complain. I'm staying dry. 9:05 left to go in the 4th quarter. And we've got a flag, and this typically means a false start. And it's a delay of game, actually, so cannot shoot yourself in the foot, especially when you're back deep in your own territory. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 7-yard line for the Artesians. And Can't see if that was Griffey or Osborne who had that run up the middle. I want to say it was Griffey, but can't quite tell. Second and 11 for the Artesians. Really need to get something clicking here offensively. Low snap, able to pick it up. Osborne nowhere to go. And there's a flag on the far side. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving, and a Decatur Central player shoved one of the Martinsville receivers. I could see it from up here, and the flag came out immediately afterwards. It's unsportsmanlike conduct, Decatur Central. And I couldn't see, maybe the Martinsville player did something, but the Decatur Central easily pushed them. And it's usually, when those type of things happen, it's the second person that gets caught. And that's maybe what happened on that play. But it is an automatic first down for Martinsville, and that is a huge break and another killer penalty for Decatur Central. And Coach Enright for the Hawks has to be beside himself. And it looked like it was a quarterback. We've got two flags coming. False start against Martinsville. I don't know if did a quick snap and then did a QB sneak like they almost needed to. We're trying to get a first down. I don't know. And there was another penalty flag that was thrown, but we haven't got an official call on that yet. It's kind of a bizarre play, especially after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Artesians had a automatic first down, and it's almost like they rushed it to get a playoff. We're still waiting to see if there's another. There was a false start penalty. That's been, there's the false start. And then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Decatur Central. So another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Decatur Central. Hawks are getting a little frustrated here. Down 3, 18-15, 8:09 left to go in the game. Decatur Central just shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, I'll be honest, it's really nothing Martinsville has done offensively. It's just Decatur Central has been giving Martinsville free yards, especially this drive here. Osborne nowhere to go. I mean, lost a yard or two. Osborne, who came into tonight's game with 318 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns, just unfortunately has not been able to get anything going. But it's not just him. Travis Griffey, take away that first run he had to start this game. Not a whole lot of room on the ground. Fakes the handoff. Griffey, nowhere to go. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Just going up the middle is not working for the Artesians, but the one thing it is doing, it's chewing up some clock. Now it's 3rd and long. Now in these situations, Decatur Central has brought all kinds of pressure, and there was a play late in the first half, a screen play, that if they would have been able to get by one defender, it would have gone big. I wonder if the Artesians will try a screen pass here, because 3rd and long passing situation, Decatur Central has been bringing pressure most of the night. Snap has to be good, though. It is perfect. It's a speed option. Pitches it on the far side. It does have some running room, but he's going to be tackled from behind. Well shy of the first down. Maybe he gets about 3 or 4 yards there, but it's going to bring up 4th and about 10. So it's going to bring up another punting situation. Offense is out there. See if we can get Decatur Central to jump. I'd be shocked if Martinsville snapped it here. 14 on the play clock. And Decatur Central will burn a timeout. Bit of a shocker there that Coach Enright would use a timeout there. A tight game like this with under 6 minutes to go, you'd want to make sure you have all three of your timeouts a little closer to the end of the game, but Coach Enright calls one there, so he's got 2 left. So if anything, it forced Decatur Central to burn a timeout. So we're going to get ready for a punting situation. Caleb Urban is going to be out there. And if Martinsville is able to hang on and win this game, I think player of the game has to go to Caleb Urban. I mean, he's gotten 3 field goals, 3 for 3, and has had 1 punt that pinned Decatur Central inside their 1. This one, a high punt. It's going to be run up and caught at the 35. So Decatur Central, that's where they will start, around the 36-yard line, let's call it. And Martinsville defense on the field. Defense is going to win this game. Artesian coaching staff sideline trying to get this crowd up and making some noise. A little bit of a lull just due to the offense unfortunately not being able to get much going. So it's going to be on this crowd and this defense. Harrington rolls to his left. He's going to cut back. Now he's got all kinds of green, and this is what he's been able to do. And he gets out to midfield. And Harrington, Parker Harrington, he's had a lot of turnovers, but the one thing, he's takes a snap, rolls one way, looks downfield, doesn't see anybody, then just comes back to the other side of the field and usually has a lot of green in front of him. So a big, about 15-yard pickup for him on that one. Gives it to Tracy. Tracy cuts back inside. There's a flag, which probably is going to be a holding call. Still, Kenny Tracy, not a whole lot of room. Maybe gets about 4 yards, but it's going to be coming back, I believe, due to a holding call on Decatur Central. And Decatur Central has a player down. It looks like it's going to be a cramp, so. And an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty also on Martinsville. So it wasn't just a holding call, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Martinsville. I believe that's their second. Decatur Central also has a couple, so you can tell this is a conference game. Things are getting a little chippy. These are 2 undefeated teams coming in tonight, 3-0. Martinsville ranked 4th in the 5A. Decatur Central ranked 2nd. So both penalties will be marked off. So you have a 10-yard penalty and against Decatur Central, then a 15-yard penalty against Martinsville. And what that means, it's 5 yards for Decatur Central, 1st and 5 from the Artesian 45-yard line. So 5:15 and counting left in this game. Does this defense have another turnover in them? They have 5 takeaways, 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries so far tonight. Very impressive. Decatur Central hurries to the line. And it's a legal procedure. Yeah, Decatur Central, I don't know, they ran up to the line and tried to quick snap it, and that kind of messed up the rhythm of the play and shot themselves in the foot. So that will move them back 5 yards. So it's, after all is said and done, we start from where we got this drive going from the first place. 1st and 10 from the midfield, 50-yard line. Clock is rolling. Decatur Central has 2 timeouts. Martinsville, I believe, has all 3 left. Fakes the handoff. Harrington rolls to his left. He's got pressure, and he's going to go. He's still on his feet, but this is going to be a face mask penalty against Martinsville. And there's another flag, and this might be against the quarterback. Harrington, I think, said something. So we're going to have a face mask against Martinsville, and we might have another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Decatur Central. There was a flag thrown at around the 40-yard line, and Harrington reacted. So this might be a penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, another one. We'll see. Here's the call. Personal foul, face mask, Martinsville. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, Decatur Central. So you walk off both penalties here, and we'll see where they position this football. So it will be spotted right now at the 42-yard line. So it's about 8 yards from the original line of scrimmage. So we've got 1st and 18. I feel like this drive has been going on forever, but we haven't moved from the where the football was originally marked at midfield on this drive. We just kind of keep going forward and backwards. All right, here we go. 4:18 left to go. 1st and 18. Harrington fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, and he's got running room and another penalty. It gets hit and the ball comes loose. Did Martinsville get it? The ball did come loose. Martinsville says they have it. It's a holding penalty against Decatur Central. That penalty more than likely will be declined, and the Martinsville defense gets another takeaway. Their 6th of the night. Harrington took a shot on the far sideline. The ball came loose. Martinsville recovered it with 4:04 left to go in this 4th quarter. There is a holding penalty against Decatur Central. Obviously, Coach Whitson declined that. Artesian's offense back on the field. They will take over in the Hawks territory. 4:04 left to go. Decatur Central with 2 timeouts. You really would love just a first down here to just keep this clock rolling. You don't want a 3 and out. Give the Hawks another chance. Hands it off up the middle. It goes nowhere. And I think there's a fumble, and I think now Decatur Central jumped on this one. We'll see what the call is. It looks like it will be a fumble, and Decatur Central recovered. And it will be. Decatur Central gets it right back, and that's the last thing you wanted. That's the first fumble, and we've got another penalty at midfield. Somebody must have said something. That is the first fumble that Martinsville has committed, I believe, in this season. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Decatur Central. Coach Enright has got to be livid. If I'm a Decatur Central fan, coach, anyone, I am just frustrated as can be. You get a turnover, but then you say something you probably shouldn't, and you go back 15 yards. So a break for the Artesians. Still, though, Decatur Central, after the fumble by the Martinsville Artesians, they have it. Kenny Tracy, now he's got room. This is where he can be dangerous, but he's pushed out of bounds. Does pick up about maybe 10 yards or close to it. Second long coming up for Decatur Central. Hands it off on the far side, number 14, and he goes nowhere. He maybe got a yard or two. Nice job, the Artesian defense on that far side. Saw Izzy Elliott over there, number 41. And we've got another penalty flag on that far side. It's a holding against the Hawks. So that pushes them back 10 yards. We'll redo second down again. I cannot believe the amount of penalties that have been committed in this game. Martinsville has had a few, but Decatur Central, I don't keep track of how many penalties for how many yards, but it's got to be up there. Coach Carter, a few spots down for me. He's kind of the statistician for the football team. I'm sure he's been busy keeping track of all these yellow flags that have been thrown. Harrington's going to keep it. He's going to throw a bomb, and he's got a wide open man, and he's still on his feet. Makes one man miss. Tackled from behind and gets it at the 20-yard line. A huge pass from Harrington, and that's the second time that's happened almost from the exact same spot. And we've got another flag. We'll have to see what this is about, but there is a penalty flag. The official is at the 45-yard line. We'll kind of discuss what this could be. This could be a huge personal foul, roughing the passer, Martinsville. So this time it's Martinsville that commits the penalty. 2:44 left to go, and now Decatur Central, they're going to get the football. See where they mark it. It's going to be at the 10-yard line, so this is going to be first and goal with 2:44 left to go. After the long pass completion from Harrington to Jason Allen Jr. that set this up. Artesians had it second forever in the deep pass. So it's up to the defense. They've done this before. Toss play to Tracy. Tracy, not a whole lot of room, cuts back inside, but there's another flag. It's going to be more than likely a hold. So it's second down, and it's another holding for the Decatur Central Hawks. Decatur Central, the only way that they can get anything is either the long, deep pass or by committing a penalty. This game's over 2.5 hours long. This has been a long one here. So 2:27 left to go in the fourth quarter. We've got a good one at Ciderwoods Field, 18-15. Artesians will hanging on to the 3-point lead, but Decatur Central is moving, but seems like for every step they take a couple back. So it's first and goal from the 24. Decatur Central can't get a first down. So clock's running now. Harrington, he's going to go inside. Gets it to about the 20-yard line, so picks up about 5 yards on that scramble. Harrington a little slow getting up, but he looks to be all right. So second and goal from the 20. Make it the 18, check that. Here we go. Hear the crowd noise from the Artesian fans. Harrington going to go back to pass. He's got a man. Oh, off the hands of a Artesian defensive back. Garrett Miles, I don't know if he saw the football or not, had his hand up and it hit him right in that right hand, but that'll stop the clock. So Decatur Central 3rd and goal. Can the Artesian defense do it again? Martinsville shut out Decatur Central right before the half, just like they did last week at Greenwood. Can they do it again this time, possibly for the game? 3rd down for Decatur Central. Harrington's going to throw it. Got a receiver, it's well overthrown. We got a 4th down. So, will Decatur Central bring out their field goal kicker? They've got a chance to tie it if they can make the field goal. This would be about a 45-yard field goal. Here we go. 1:15 left to go. Decatur Central is going to try to tie this game up. If you're Martinsville, just make sure you don't hit that kicker, and Coach Whitson wants to call a timeout. First timeout of the half taken by the Artesians. So Martinsville, the defense, gave up their streak of consecutive shutouts in the second half. But they've done an outstanding job, especially on this last stand. Decatur Central, after the long pass from Harrington to Allen, had it 1st and goal at the 10. After a couple of Decatur Central penalties, they got pushed back, and now they're looking at a long field goal, about a 47-yard field goal for Decatur Central. Artesians just don't want to run into that kicker. Brings a little pressure. It is up. It's no good. Artesians with a stop. 1:09 left to go in the 4th quarter. Artesians do get the stop they needed. The kick was no good. That shows you right there how important a kicker like Caleb Urban is. Caleb Urban knocked through a 51-yard field goal earlier in this half. But the 47-yard field goal, no good. And now the Artesians with 1:09 left to go. Decatur Central, I think, only has 1, maybe 2 timeouts left. You just have to take care of the football. Take care of the football. Make sure the snap is good and clean. Low snap, but it's all right. Osborne is going to be tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. I'm guessing if Decatur Central doesn't have timeouts left, this game's over. Decatur Central, I just got a note from Coach Jason and Coach Carter. 23 penalties committed by Decatur Central tonight, and that definitely was the game. And as the clock goes down, Decatur Central doesn't have timeouts to stop it. Artesians, all they have to do is snap it one more time, take a knee. Attack it. And that. So Decatur Central does have a timeout, and they use it right now. So obviously some coaching strategy that I don't know. I don't know why they didn't use that timeout earlier, but I guess they're maybe forcing Martinsville to run a play and force a turnover. So 3rd and 14. I don't know if Decatur Central has another timeout or not. They may have one more, so if they do, they'll obviously use it after the Martinsville play, unless Martinsville is able to get a first down, but going to be playing conservative. So Decatur Central has one timeout remaining, I believe. It will force Martinsville to do a little bit of thinking here. They're just going to need to take care of the football. We'll see what Coach Whitson has designed here. Just take care of the football. It's the most important thing you need right now. You're going to take care of that football. Griffey takes it. He's running. Still going up the middle. Still going. Gets tackled. And Decatur Central will use their last timeout. So apparently before that drive, Decatur Central had 2 timeouts. They just used their last one. That will force Martinsville to run a 4th down play. More than likely a punting situation here. Now here's what you could do. You could snap it and then just have your quarterback run around and just make sure he doesn't get tackled before 8 seconds. You just run out the clock. Just run backwards like you're going toward the end zone, because if you get a safety, that still puts Artesians up by 1 point. Or do you just punt it away and just hope that your punt team can not give up a return? So this might be a play you see Griffey kind of run backwards. He's kind of, now you just need to make sure you don't go down before the 8 seconds is up. This is a risky play, but it might be the right one. We'll see. The official saying there should be more time on the clock. There should be more than 8 seconds. That could maybe change the strategy that Coach Whitson wants to do. 9.8. That is what the official says. 9.8 seconds now. Now, can you run out the clock for almost 10 seconds? We'll see what happens. They're going to try to run it away. 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. They did it! Martinsville, 0. Martinsville has done it. They go to 4-0, and there are two or three flags that come late. Hold just a minute. The clocks were 0, and then some flags came out late. Travis Griffey ran the clock out. There were 0 seconds left on the clock. There's 0 seconds on the clock, and then 2 flags came out. Now this has to be some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but you can't throw a penalty once the game's over. Fireworks are going off. Artesians, police are on the field just because we thought the game was over. That's not an uncommon thing. Police come on the field once the game's over, just make sure that nobody comes out on the field. So we'll see what the play is. Block in the back on Martinsville. Personal foul on Decatur Central. Those penalties offset. That is the ball game. Martinsville now officially is 4-0. And they come away with a huge win here at Siderwitz Field. They go to 4-0 overall, 2-0 in the conference. Great, exciting game, and you have to give the player of the game to Caleb Urban. 51-yard field goal was the difference maker here tonight. Next week, Artesians will travel to Franklin for another conference game. Decatur Central will host Mooresville. I'd like to thank the camera crew for braving the weather for us here. For everyone for WREP 15 Sports, I'm Eric Burns. Artesians of 4-0. Good night, everybody.